Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today we're taking a look at the 4 new weapons that were added to Battlefield 5 as part of the Pacific update. Battlefield 5's main menu and key art have also been updated to reflect the new content. The new weapons have been made available ahead of the full War in the Pacific launch, which kicks off tomorrow. There's one new gun for each class. The Assault gets the iconic M1 Garand, probably one of the most anticipated weapons in all of Battlefield 5. The Medic gets the Japanese Type 100 SMG, the Support gets the M1919A6 MMG, aka the Browning, and finally the Recon gets the Type 99 Arasaka bolt-action rifle. Let's start off by getting into the M1 Garand. With an 8-round magazine and a 360 round per minute rate of fire, the Garand starts out very similar to something like the Turner SMLE, which for me actually is one of my favorite weapons in the game. At close to medium range, you can fire this gun at its fastest rate of fire and usually land all your shots on target, but at further ranges, you're going to have to slow down a bit to contend with the recoil. The iron sights are pretty usable for the most part and certainly the most authentic look for the gun, but the 3x scope is going to give you the accuracy that you're going to want at further ranges. If you're not comfortable with the magnified optics but find the iron sights too hard to use, there's also the red dot sight for a decent middle ground. As for the reload, DICE have finally blessed us with the iconic M1 Garand ping sound of a clip being ejected from the internal magazine. Like with most internal mag guns, reloading from empty is actually faster than replacing the clip with a few rounds left. That said, it's not really a big difference and you shouldn't be putting yourself in situations where you need to reload quickly with the Garand anyway. It's not really your close quarter jack of all trades weapon. You're going to want to be using this predominantly at medium long ranges. Now when it comes to the specialization tree, this is where the gun gets interesting. My recommendation is to focus on accuracy and damage. Quick aim is certainly useful in a pinch, but picking barrel bedding to improve stationary accuracy could be a better first pick. It kind of depends more on your playstyle or what you think you're going to be running into. From there, take the 2 left tree specializations for improved moving accuracy and faster moving speed while aiming down sights. These will give you the ability to side strafe against snipers and other long range targets. And then finally, at the end, you have really the 2 most interesting choices. There's the heavy load and then basically rifle-fired grenades. Now, as cool as rifle-fired grenades are, the Assault does have plenty of explosive options already available to it. You could go full crazy anti-tank Rambo build here, get your rifle-fire grenades and your rocket launchers and dynamite and just see what happens. But really, heavy load seems to be the more obvious choice here. The Garand seems like it's setting itself up for more of a long-range semi-auto rifle, and the heavy load is going to allow it to be that much more effective at range. However, once picking heavy load, you are reducing the rate of fire of this weapon, more solidifying its role in its long-range place. At this point, the gun will become very similar in how it performs to the Carabin M1938, which was recently added to the game. The difference between this and the Carabin at this point is that the Garand still has better damage at extreme ranges. The Carabin does 33 damage at extreme range, which means you can 3-shot somebody at extreme distances, but if you leg them, it's going to be a 4-shot kill, where the Garand's going to be doing 36 damage at extreme ranges, which is going to allow you to be a little bit less precise and still get that 3-shot kill. Ultimately, I really like the Garand. The specialization tree gives you some of the most interesting trade-offs out of any of the semi-autos in the game so far, and it could be the king of the hill when it comes to long-range semi-auto rifles. Definitely going to be a fun weapon for storming the beaches of Iwo Jima. Next up, we have the new Medic SMG, the Japanese Type 100. And right out of the gate, this is a fun little SMG to use. It's got a 30-round magazine. It shoots at 720 rounds per minute. It's accurate. It's got good hip fire. It's even got an included bipod. This gun is going to feel, however, very similar to a Sten or an MP40 in many ways. Even though it's got a faster rate of fire than both of those guns, it has less damage per shot. Where the MP40 or Sten do 25 max damage, this does 20 max damage, but you're still going to get a very similar TTK, just with faster RPM, so potentially a more consistent killing weapon than either of those, but you're going to have less damage potential per magazine. Regardless of that, you can still easily chain some kills together with a single mag in close quarters. Like most medic rifles, the Type 100 is meant for close to medium range fights. Its damage drop-off kicks in quite quick, and you're going to need 6 to 7 to 8 shots the further away you get from your target. Its high accuracy and low recoil will allow you to go for headshots more consistently and potentially contend with other higher damaging weapons. It's certainly a fun little gun and provides an interesting alternative to the MP40 or Sten. Moving on to the medium machine gun, the M1919A6, also known as the Browning. This is, I believe, the first American-made medium machine gun in the game. It's a very iconic weapon, and I was really curious to see how DICE was going to balance this weapon. I was hoping, I sort of had my fingers crossed, that maybe they'd make it a really interesting hipfire weapon, but unfortunately it seems to have very similar hipfire properties to most other MMGs in the game. And instead of taking the hipfire route to make this weapon stand out from all the other MMGs, they've taken more of a sniper approach to this, giving it options for the fastest muzzle velocity out of any medium machine gun in the game. Insanely fast, 910 meters per second, faster than most of the sniper rifles in the game. So hitting moving targets at extreme range is going to be very easy with this. And also, if you go for the accuracy route of this, making its bipoded accuracy better and better recoil control, you're going to have one of the most accurate medium machine guns in the game, making this essentially a sniper rifle of medium machine guns. This sounds like it could be quite annoying to play against, but it is at least taking a slightly different take on what's already currently available in the game. At start, it's most similar to, say, an MG34. MG34 is a pretty accurate MMG. This one can become even more accurate with a slightly slower TTK, unless you get the rate of fire upgrade. Now, when specializing this weapon, you're definitely going to want to go left initially to get the recoil as opposed to faster reload. If you got 250 rounds in a mag, you don't really need to worry about your reload speed. And then you can either go left or right side for the mid area. This is something that I want to experiment with a bit more. The faster rate of fire and flashless propellant is certainly nothing to disregard. Flashless repellent also might be extremely useful just for remaining hidden, especially at further ranges. But if you go on the right side, you can give this MMG essentially just unmatched accuracy at extreme ranges, which it seems like it's being specifically designed for. 70 round per minute rate of fire upgrade may or may not be that useful in the long run. At the very end, you're definitely going to want to go for the high velocity bullets to again improve its effectiveness at those further ranges. This weapon, like many other guns in the game, will be defined by the maps you play on. If you've got a lot of long sight lines and open ground, this is going to be probably your MMG of choice. If you've got maybe closer range, tight-knit areas where the rate of fire is going to be more important, you probably won't want to pick this one. Definitely seems like a promising weapon for Iwo Jima. And then finally, we have the Type 99 Arasaka, which is just a really cool rifle. It sounds great. It's another bolt-action rifle. Unfortunately, I think this is one of the lesser interesting new weapons just because it's so similar to what's already available in the game. In fact, it's nearly identical to the Gewehr M95, which is arguably one of the best sniper rifles in the game, except that the Arasaka does 75 max damage instead of the M95's 80 max damage, and it only does 60 minimum damage as opposed to the M95's 66 minimum damage. Other than that, though, exact same rate of fire, pretty much identical specialization tree. Muzzle velocity is identical at 600 meters per second. Almost a twin of the weapon. This is not necessarily a bad thing, especially considering just how effective the M95 is. It's a good, solid sniper rifle for medium and long range sniping. Great for nabbing those headshots, getting those one-shot kills. Slightly less consistent at getting those one-shot body shot kills because your opponent's going to have taken a little bit more damage for you to get a one shot on the body. Also, when using with the 6x scope, which I think is probably going to be a pretty popular choice for this weapon, you have a slightly smaller field of view than you would with some of the other rifles in the game. The Type 99, though, can reload individual rounds, and it seems like in general it might have a better reload than the M95 overall. So again, very, very slight nuanced differences between the M95 and the Type 99. It's going to be a fun rifle to use. Overall, these weapons are 4 nice additions to the game. They certainly complement the new theme that we're going into here. And I'm looking forward to the new Tides of War weapons and weekly assignment unlocks that are going to further flesh out the American and Japanese arsenal. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about the new weapons. And I'll see you guys in the Pacific tomorrow. This is Level Cap, signing off.